This month, I made $21,350 day trading. And no, I didn't use any insanely complex strategies, no ICT concepts, none of these things that are insanely difficult to understand. All I did was use one insanely simple system and one insanely simple indicator. That is it. And as you can see here, I was only trading for around 12 days this month. I don't even trade every single day. The best part about this trading indicator and this system is that I don't have to trade every single day. As you can see here, I only traded 12 days of the month, and still I was able to make over $20,000 trading. So if you want to get to this exact same point where you're making at least $20,000 a month trading, stick through this video. I'm going to show you the entire strategy using just this one simple indicator. Let's go. Here's the deal. If your chart looks like this, you are automatically guaranteed going to lose. Because looking at this right now, I'm going to tell you, I have zero clue what's going on. When you're depending on these indicators to tell you exactly what to do every single day, and you are looking at a chart that just has absolutely no cohesion behind it, it makes it impossible for you to make decisions. So what needs to happen is you need to drop all of these indicators and trade with only 1 to 2 indicators on your chart. And in this video, I'm going to show you the #1 indicator that you need to be using to become profitable as a day trader. This is the same indicator that I've used every single year that I've traded through all of my unprofitable years and through all of my profitable years, and has made me over $20,000 per month trading. So first thing I want you to do is get rid of all the other garbage on your chart. So now that you have a clean chart, all I want you to do is go to your indicators tab and type in VWOP. You're going to see volume weighted average price. I don't use this VWOP auto anchored one. Use this top one right here, VWOP. Now you are going to get this indicator right here. It's going to have 2 green lines and a blue line. What I want you to do is I want you to double click this green line up here, and it's going to bring up the settings. Okay. Now, with this strategy, I like to make my chart as simple as humanly possible. So what that means is, well, we're going to take apart the upper band 1, lower band 1, and bands fill. This leaves you with just a blue line. This will then make our strategy insanely easy. All right, so VWAP is a line that is essentially going to tell you exactly what the price of the stock or the price of the asset that you're trading has been looking like throughout the entire day, but it's also going to include the actual momentum of the asset itself. So what this means is, for example, on SPY here, you can see that the candles start moving aggressively to the downside. So this line right here starts to pick up speed and flatten out when we start to make more candles that come towards VWAP. So this line overall is not going to look much like an EMA. It's going to look a little bit different, and it's going to have a lot more information. And with this indicator, I've used one strategy, one simple system that has absolutely changed my entire game of trading. And at the end of this video, I'm even going to show you a very small secret that will absolutely change the game for your trading using this indicator. So watch the whole video, get the whole setup down, get the whole introduction, get everything down to this indicator. But then at the end, I'm going to show you something that just skyrockets everything. Now, for this indicator, as you can see here, we've got this line, right? I've already showed you how to set it up, but really we don't know exactly how to use this. So the concept is pretty simple, right? Let's say we're trading SPY right here. The concept is pretty simple. Anytime we're above VWAP, we're going to be wanting to go long. And anytime we're below VWAP, we're going to be wanting to go short. So anytime we're above VWAP, we're going to want to buy. Anytime we're below VWAP, we're going to want to sell. So for example, using this VWAP, we can see that we've broken to the upside pretty strongly. If we can get a break over this high, we should see a continuation to the upside. And as you can see right here, when we break that line, we come all the way up here, and then we start to make that move back down. So this is a massive target that got hit for over 2 to 1 risk to reward. Now, in the same example, when we come back down to VWAP, we're going to see a continuation through VWAP with strong momentum. This very clearly shows that we have downside pressure and can give you an entry to the downside here. It's not as easy as what I'm showing you right now, right? Because very simple. You can most likely tell me, hey, you're just a chart replay warrior. You can see exactly what's happening on this chart, and obviously it's going to make sense to you every single time. Well, I'm going to show you this whole system from start to finish, and it's going to break down exactly how I can catch these entries and exactly how you can snipe every single position that comes to you just like this, all while just using one simple, stupid simple indicator. But of course, guys, we can't just say it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, enter a position anytime you're above VWAP, short anytime you're below VWAP. It's not that simple, right? So we have 3 main rules that we have to follow. #1 is going to be price action, okay? So we have to have an understanding of what price action is before getting into having these indicators. This is where everyone messes up, because they tell you, all right, put this indicator on your chart and now you're going to be successful. And guess what? You're still watching this video now because you have been failing as a trader because you don't understand the concept of price action. You're just trying to rely on indicators by themselves, and it ends up screwing you over in the long run. You have to know what price is going to do to then be able to react to it with the indicator at the same time. So right now I'm going to give you a small price action breakdown with the VWAP indicator. That way you can know exactly what you're looking for every single time that you come to that level. All right, so when we're looking at VWAP, we want to really pay attention to price action. And what does that actually mean? Well, we want to know what price is going to do when it hits the level. That way we can pretty much accurately predict exactly what entries to pick and when, right? So the first thing I'm going to show you is price action. The second is going to be revealed after this. That way we can really focus and get this down. So first things first, we have a couple of things that we need to focus on. Wicks and candle bodies, okay? So when we come down to VWAP, there's some things that we need to pay attention to. Are we going to bounce straight off of VWAP, or are we going to break, retest, and continue VWAP? Those are the two most likely outcomes that are going to happen when we actually show up to this line. So how are we going to determine exactly which one to take whenever we're coming towards VWAP? So this is how we use price action when actually using this indicator. That way it's not just blind faith in an indicator, but actually using a system that makes sense. This is how everything is going to just piece together for you, okay? So first things first, right? We see that we break this level, we come all the way back down, and we're retesting the VWAP area right now, okay? We need to know what is happening first. What is happening for us to actually enter a position, and why are we looking to continue to the upside from here? Well, as you can see, we've got this wick right here. This wick is indicating bullish pressure. One main thing that we also see is the momentum of the candle itself is twice the size of this previous candle. So we have twice the amount of volume coming out of this candle than the last one, right? That is going to indicate to us that we're looking to continue to the upside. So this leads me to lesson number one, which is when you see massive momentum, follow it, right? So as we can see here, we have this big bullish wick, and this ends up having a massive momentum candle that ends up breaking this previous candle's high and showing a lot of strength. When we see that massive momentum candle, we just want to follow it. All we're going to do is follow that massive momentum. All we're going to do is follow that momentum and hold the position all the way as long as we possibly can, with targets most likely being highs or your next level. So the same thing goes for this exact example that I showed you earlier. As you can see, we have a lot of selling pressure based on these wicks. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll know exactly what I mean when I say selling pressure, buying pressure, momentum, all of this good stuff. If you haven't watched my videos, binge all of my videos after this, because you'll actually start to understand exactly what's going on here if you aren't already. So here you can see we have already selling pressure. This is going to show that we're pushing to the downside now. Now what shows here afterwards is, like I said again, a momentum candle that has 2 times the amount of momentum as the last candle. Well, remember what our lesson was. If you see momentum, follow it. So we end up breaking this level here after retesting VWAP and showing little to no strength with selling pressure with a massive momentum candle afterwards. We follow that thing all the way down to at least lows. Huge, easy trade to follow. And what's so great about this strategy is that there are simple examples that are shown every single day. Like for example, here you can see big candle. We have a big, very clear selling wick that's going to probably push us down to VWAP. And as you can see here, we retest VWAP, but look what ends up happening. Large buying wick, large buying momentum, and we end up breaking highs. So remember the rule. If we see momentum, we follow the momentum off the VWAP line. That's it. It's the easiest strategy in the entire world. It's the easiest system in the entire world. But you are missing a very, very key piece to this strategy. You've got the price action down. You understand what the candles are going to do when they get to your level. But the main thing that you're missing is an extra piece of Confluence. If you don't know what Confluence is, it's added confirmation to your trade. So when you're taking a trade, you obviously want to have as many pieces of Confluence as possible. You want to know where the trend is VWAP going with us? Is our, Fibs going in the same direction? Are these all things lining up so that all of our confluences are stacking? Then once we have a stacked amount of confluences, you will see that everything will line up perfectly and your win rate will skyrocket. If you've watched my channel and you've watched everything that I've taught from the beginning of my channel, I've talked about a few main strategies: order blocks, Fibs, and price action, right? Those are the three strategies that I use on the daily basis. Now, I've combined them all into one strategy, which is the SOA strategy. If you don't know what SOA is, I've created an entire mentorship platform for over 1,000 students who have become profitable. Over 400 of them have quit their 9-to-5s and have become full-time traders making over 10K a month. Of course, if you want to apply to join, link is down in the description. But the SOA strategy is going to be the whole system that I've used. So order blocks, key levels, all this stuff that I have put together and shown you guys on YouTube, it is all just packaged up and bundled into this strategy that uses VWAP along with it. So once you have another strategy that works, you are then able to implement VWAP on the side of it and make it even more powerful. So for example, when we are looking at VWAP here, one thing we need to pay attention to is Fibs, right? So we can look at the Fibonacci retracement. Again, I have videos on this, so if you're confused on this part, don't worry, watch through it. You can watch this video right after. I'll actually link the video to the Fibonacci retracement. This tool that you're seeing right here is going to be linked at the end of the video, so you can literally watch that video right after. So this, by the way, strategy is insane. So as you can see here, we can draw our Fibs out. Boom, boom, boom. And as you can see, we have our Fibs on this time frame. Now, we have VWAP at the same time listed here. So what we can do is we can use price action, Fibs, and VWAP all together. Now that we have three pieces of Confluence, this makes this strategy insanely easy, because what we see is, well, we see a break and a failure to hold the Fib. We see a continuation down through VWAP, and we have our stop loss right here above the Fib level, as we always do. You can have your first target be that 50%, second target can be down here, and third, you can have it somewhere around this area where we have this liquidity. And as you can see, this strategy can then start to really be easy. Like, you can piece together so many different things. Same thing goes for this exact trade right next to it, right? We break the 50%. Stop loss can be below these lows right over here or below this low, depending on how, risky you're feeling. And we can put our first target up to the top of this, second target up to this order block right here on the 15-minute. And again, all these strategies are available on my YouTube channel. But having another strategy on the side that works alongside with VWAP makes it 10 times stronger, okay? Now, number 3 is the implementation of the strategy itself. So how do we take trades using VWAP? Well, first thing we want to do is we want to combine price action and strategy. So where do we put our stop loss? Where do we put a target? How do we actually understand what we're doing when it comes to this VWAP strategy? Well, first things first, guys, it comes down to number 1 and 2, right? Price action and strategy. So first things first, let's pay attention to this example that I showed you earlier. We break over the VWAP here. So what are we looking to do? We're looking to go long, okay? Now we have this large selling pressure wick, which pulls us down to VWAP. Large buying pressure wick, which looks like we want to push to the upside. If we want to just combine another strategy along with this, you guys already know my order block strategy. If you don't know my order block strategy, you are so missing out. When we talk about first price action and we see second strategy. So we have this break of this level here and a continuation straight through the order block. Easy position right here. When we break above the highs and above the order block, you can set your stop loss on the other side of the order block or on the other side of VWAP. Now, when we break to the upside, we can have a very clear target. We can say, well, right here where we see all these wicks, or we can say right here where we have this small order block right there. So as you can see, we do end up getting pretty close to that. I probably obviously would not have taken this position or held this position anywhere near as long because of this overall chop here. But as you can see, this position ends up being an easy green position as well. And that is it. One of the easiest strategies in the world that has helped over 1,000 of my students become profitable and over 400 of them make over 6 figures a year trading. If you are genuinely stuck, you feel like you have been trying, but you don't understand the concept of trading, or you're trying to just level up and become a better trader in general, I've helped a lot of people get to the level that you want to be at, right? I don't make $1 million a day. I make over $20,000 a month, and I'm 100% financially free just because of trading alone. So if you want to learn from me, you can go in the description, click on the first link, and you can apply to join Simply Options Academy. This program has changed lives. I want to see it change your life as well. And by the way, that video that I showed you earlier about the Fibonacci retracement is going to be popping up on the screen right around like up here somewhere in the corner. So I want you to click that video, go watch that Fibonacci retracement video. It's going to send you down a rabbit hole of Netflix binge-worthy strategies and systems that I've used throughout the entirety of my trading for the last 5 years. So I want you to go watch those, and I will see you all next week. Adios, everybody. Goodbye. Much love.